Hi, everybody. Thanks for coming out. It's so great to see everybody dressed up, having fun.
Someone seems to have left some art up here on the stage for me. I have a cobra-headed monster with a shark for a hand and an octopus body. What do you think about that?
I love it. This is going in the next campaign.
Wow,
For sure.
that's great.
Double shark-topus man.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Teenage Wasteland panel for class of 1980X. We are Cow Chop and our friend Adam Thompson.
Hi.
Hi.
Man, this is really awkward over here. Like, I was just telling James, there's like 4 seats, but we've only taken up half of this side. Doesn't this look weird?
It'd be like more awkward if I was just down there by myself.
I feel like we should do like one in between each other.
Like every other seat?
Yeah, like every other seat. Maybe that would look better.
All right, well, you have to,
Yeah,
you
you
have to go down
start.
first. Go down first. What if those mics are off?
You want to bet? Hello?
Oh, shit.
There we go.
Okay, well,
Great.
Congratulations.
Well
now this
done.
is worse, because now I have no one here.
Yeah, well, you wanted that.
I feel like I'm back in high school and no one's sitting with me at lunch.
Sam Cool Beans stands
I'm just
alone.
kidding, dude. That never happened to me.
I'm sorry, Adam. You know what they're like. This is
Why would something like that happen
every
to
day
me?
with them,
Yeah.
honestly. So.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I
Yeah.
Got it. I
Yeah.
took my-
This is not. Yeah.
took my happy pills.
Stop. No, don't. Go back over there.
I don't feel bad for him. He does it to
I
himself.
thought you were my friend, dude. No, look, this whole thing's almost empty, too. You guys have like a giant full one of these.
Yeah, this one's full.
Yeah, you
Such a
like
fucking
knocked it over yesterday. We were on this
You're
stage
good.
yesterday, and I don't know what's
Score,
still on
dude.
the. If there's any paint on the ground, there
Yeah,
should
very
be like
much.
chocolate syrup under your feet over there from our main panel yesterday.
There's definitely paint on the floor back here.
You can see it. Yeah, there's balloon fragments.
bad.
How many of you were here yesterday for the?
A lot of people.
Nice. That's everybody, I guess.
My chair's going.
Good job. So this is going to be a little more relaxed. Hopefully most of you have seen our D&D series, Class of 1980X. If not, this is going to be a pretty boring hour for you. But we're kind of just taking a laid-back approach. I said, how do we do a D&D panel, Adam?
Yeah.
Wow. What are we going to do? We can't play D&D up here.
Well,
2 members of the community went out and they sourced some questions. And they're right in front of me. Tiffany and McKenna sitting up here in the front row. And I believe you have a piece of paper I'll need. Okay. How's it going to work? You can just come
yeah,
right
you
up
wanna
here.
Come on up here.
Round of applause for these two. Putting things together.
Are they just going to give you the notepad?
Yes. Oh, you want to
Oh,
moderate?
they're like flashcards.
Oh, they're on flashcards. That's nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
How do you feel about
Adam's now the
moderating? I mean, this is like let's lapse into our normal roles
Let me
here.
see
You know,
how,
I'm gonna just.
how do
yeah.
I feel about this here? Yeah, so we can do this.
He
yeah.
rolled an 8.
We'll be good.
That's
Yeah,
not good. That's
no, it's
not
not
a good
great.
start.
But, that's me. We'll muddle through. All right, well, so first question. What made you guys want to have a D&D show? So
Wow.
start down there on the end.
Where did it all start,
Cool.
guys?
So this is still like really weird, because
You
now
are
you
so
two,
far away
you
from
guys
me.
you guys didn't move. Like, there's not a scene between you.
Answer the fucking question. Answer. Answer.
Okay, because Rooster Teeth made us.
Yeah.
Is that true? What actually happened? This was back when we were planning out our first shows.
Yeah.
And I think at the time Rooster Teeth had offered up some flavors of shows that were already happening. So like theater mode was one of them, and I think someone suggested like, hey, Heroes and Halfwits. What's the other one called? Twits and Crits.
yeah.
Thank you. Those are already out. Would you be interested in doing something like that? And we said what?
No.
Did we say no?
I don't really remember. You had never played any D&D before, right?
Yeah, so I said no.
You said no. You kind of fought it, I guess. Alex, what were your feelings at the time? I don't remember. You hadn't played D&D either?
Dude, that whole I don't remember any of that. I'll be real.
He was drunk during the conversation beforehand.
Wow. Well, I had done it before, and I don't remember what we said to Trevor. I guess we were just like, "You're coming with us to build a
pretty much,
character."
yeah.
But we knew, so we said, okay, we could do that, but we knew we wanted to do our own version of it, I guess, because both of those other series were just
Straight D&D.
Yeah, vanilla. Okay, we're gonna fight some orcs. Cool.
Right.
And we had tried to figure out what we were going to do, like whether we were going to try and play something in like GURPS or something. Like I knew, like I think we had wanted like a mall setting. I was like, wouldn't it be cool if you could be like at the mall but like fighting orcs or some kind of like weird mishmash of like modern day.
Right.
And I don't really remember how we ended up on the 80s.
Well, so the way that it came to me was through Jeff. You know, he asked me if I'd like to run a D&D show. He told me, you know, hey, there's these these guys who want to do a D&D show.
Comedians.
Yeah, whatever. That's my word. And he said, you know, the idea is like mall rats versus aliens. I was like, oh, I can run with this. I immediately started, you know, just having all this great inspiration from 80s movies that I'd grown up watching and stuff like that. And so that's where we got the 80s theme. That was pretty much my insistence. You know, I wanted to steal all my favorite stuff from, you know, movies like Legend of Billie Jean and stuff like that. And so that's where I came up with that was my contribution to the idea. So it was kind of a, you know, one of those ideas that got kicked around by a couple different people, you know, before we settled on that.
Yeah.
And I mean, I had never wanted to do a D&D show, but when I got asked, I realized, oh yeah, no, that sounds awesome. And, you know, I don't know, they did such a great job capturing the fun of it. It can be tricky, for sure.
Yeah, it was a fun. I mean, it was obviously fun. We did more than one season of it, unlike theater mode. So, yeah. Did you enjoy? I mean, what made you come back for a second season? We just wanted to continue the story, huh?
I was told it could be my last one.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's true. You were like, okay, I'll do it, but I'm not doing it again.
I think was the plan to inevitably write me off, but like I don't even think that happened. I think the nature of the roles that were coming out while we were playing made me survive anyway.
Yeah.
So, and plus this one was instigating me, so like that probably.
Wait, how was I instigating you?
You wanted to blow up the house with my character. You wanted to kill me.
Dude, I had it
so like
all
that
planned
enticed
out.
me to want to live more, so I escaped. It was because of you that I lived and that I would have to come back.
So you did it in spite. You just
Yeah, absolutely.
You set yourself up for season 3 in spite
Yeah.
of me trying to kill you in season 2.
Yeah, I did.
That makes sense, I guess.
Nature of the roles, man.
Yeah,
Fucking
you
roles.
get caught up in the drama and, you know, shit happens. So next question, if we ready. Who was everyone's favorite character to interact with during the game, I assume?
For me, it was my fictional characters that I brought along with me. None of you guys. It was just the fictional characters that were, you know, my boyfriend, right?
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, that whole deal.
That was awesome.
I think
Where's your phone?
my phone.
Oh yeah.
My phone.
Call Steve.
This is a season 1 relic.
Bring, bring.
Wow.
Steve. Didn't I suck his dick or something like that, right?
I think, well, there was like a thing for it, right, where I spied on you
Yeah.
Yeah.
sucking his dick.
Yeah.
Like I set it up as like I was in the vent or something and I witnessed it.
I sucked his dick.
So Steve was everybody's favorite character to interact with, it sounds like. Mostly.
I don't think I ever talked to
Steve was
Steve.
No, yeah.
Steve was chill. Steve was yeah, he was all right.
Yeah.
There was that like slug thing that was pretty cool.
The mind control aliens.
Yeah.
This is everyone's favorite characters to interact with.
No,
the giant slug that was in like one
in
scene.
the
I tried to
garden. Oh,
ride
yeah,
that
yeah.
slug and it failed.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the eco deck, right? That's right. Yeah, that was good. Yeah, I wish we'd had a little more time to do more with that encounter, but that was where, you know, when we're trying to film the game in episodes, we kind of have to time block stuff a little bit. So I had to cut that one short. Just
Yeah, we had already fucked up the story so much, like at that point. So
I was like, they're never ever going to get to the end at this pace. It was almost like a 12
The
episode
spider
first
too.
season.
Is that season 2?
That was Was
That's
it
the beginning of season.
Yeah, at the end of season 1, and then
Really?
they were at the end of season 2 also.
A lot
'cause
of you
they
in the
were-
audience will probably remember the plot of this show way better than we do, to be completely honest with you. Like, I can guarantee you, like, if we had to compete for trivia, you guys would win, because it's just a whiskey blur, so.
What about you, Brett?
Yep.
What characters did
I
you
liked
like?
interacting with Jaundice.
Oh yeah,
I
Mike.
feel like he
yeah.
was, I mean, for my character, you know, R.I.P. He was a good ally when I needed him, and then a good foil when we needed to make fun of like his weird dick or whatever, you know.
No, he's
So,
great. Yeah, his mom,
Yeah.
everything. His skin.
He's a rich character, so yeah, that's probably my go-to.
Yeah, no, that was great. All y'all's characters together were just amazing. It was just the best role playing I've ever seen, pretty much. Actually. Okay, for me, how does this campaign compare to others that I've done? I mean, my home game is usually much more traditional, sort of a D&D game, or I'll run science fiction ones too.
How long have you been doing D&D? Give a little background, because I'm not sure everybody
I
knows.
started playing when I was like 8. I got that red box set with the dice that you have to color in the numbers with crayons yourself. That was 1982. So, been playing since then, more or less, on and off. And I've had a real solid game going at home, like a weekly game pretty much for probably 15 years. So, yeah, it's good. A lot of different campaigns, mainly my own homebrew stuff, but occasionally I'll run one of the adventures that somebody else has written. Paizo put out a lot of really good, like big campaigns that you can play. One called Savage Tide that was really excellent. But this 1980X is definitely, it was an opportunity for me to like do something different and like really just take all of my conventions and boundaries and just throw it all away and just do something where I could put anything I wanted into the game and run with it. And so that was a huge difference with this one for me, and just a lot of fun to do too. Having a ship that can go to any world or time or whatever just lets me, as the storyteller, grab anything and throw it in the game. And so that was a lot of fun. And that was the main difference for me. Let's see here. Another one for me. I already kind of answered this one. Yeah, okay.
They heard us talk for like an hour yesterday. It's fine.
All right. So for me, again, what was your process for creating a storyline to fit the theme and the characters? Well, first it was, coming up with the basic idea where, it's mall rats versus aliens, and how do you explain that, right? Who are these aliens? Where do they come from? What are they doing in the mall? And once I had the basic ideas for that, which mainly was just stealing little bits and pieces from movies that I'd enjoyed in the 80s, started working with the guys to create their characters. And so we worked back and forth on that quite a bit. And a lot of the ideas came out of that because, most of the guys hadn't ever made a D&D character before. So I kind of coached them through it all. I was like, okay, what do you want your character's greatest strengths to be? Who are they like? What's their family? That sort of thing. And so working that out before the game, a lot of that came back around into the plot and events, trying to get the characters involved in the mall, I was kind of hoping one of them would go for there was a beauty pageant type of storyline that they just ignored. But they took the story the direction that they needed to, and so that was, it's, every D&D game is like a special alchemy,
I don't remember, like, we created our characters on our own and we were kind of like slowly feeding them to you and stuff. How much time did you have between, like, I know you had already sort of created a lot of it, but then when we told you who we were going to be playing the 4 characters, did you have time to work that in, or was it pretty close to the deadline?
No, I worked that in as much as I could, trying to, like take your characters' connections and, their friends and stuff and work that into the story. Yeah.
Is that pretty standard for you as a DM? Like, you'll kind of sort of...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, ideally, so, I mean, the way that I usually like to start a new story, a new campaign, is to have everybody sit down and make the characters together. And so that's when, all the things that their characters care about, that they care about, I can work that into the story from that point. And it also gives them a chance to, like, make up reasons their characters know each other and stuff like that. a lot of games actually bake that into the system. They say, when you make your characters, everybody sit down together and, kind of come up with how they're related and stuff. So,
Yeah.
had to do it via email with this in this case, but
Yeah.
it's kind of the same thing. Whose idea was it for the show to be 80s themed? That was 100% me. That was all me. Just all the red Honda Elite scooters and stuff. I just had to work that into the game. So, from episode 1 to now, how do you feel about your experience with D&D, and would you play again? And I think this is mostly for the guys because I'm never ever gonna stop playing D&D. So,
Really?
yeah.
What if I don't know, like a new Call of Duty comes out or something?
Wait, what?
So what if a new Call of Duty comes out or something?
Oh yeah. No, I'll still be playing D&D. Yeah.
It's a commitment, dude.
What? See, it sounds like maybe it's a no for you on D&D in the future.
I think it's all right, but like I guess for us, we already set the foundation for everything. You engineered the whole thing. Like you DM'd it, right? I think finding somebody that can host a weekly DM session or whatever it is, out in your area takes a little bit more effort,
Yeah, I mean, you got to find some folks to play with. Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's a lot of online resources now. Roll20, a lot of people play online nowadays. I definitely prefer sitting at the table. It's just a little more fun. And I have a room in my house dedicated to playing D&D, so makes it easy.
I researched it a little bit because after I think got done with season 1 or season 2, just to see, because it was a cool concept to me, and I wondered how big the community is for it. And it seems like there's different levels of it, right? I don't know what level we were on. I'm guessing it was maybe with your expertise, we turn it into the worst level of Dungeons and Dragons possible. But
It was definitely unique.
yeah, we'll call it unique. I guess I'm curious, I've seen Reddit posts where people are like, oh, I tried signing up for this thing, but they were already far in the campaign, and because I didn't have any experience, they didn't let me play in it. I've seen posts like that. So I'm wondering how complicated it is, or I guess maybe if you could expand on what they were talking about when people say I couldn't join a particular league because of X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, I don't know what to say to that. I mean, I always try to just work people into the table, whatever level they're at. But I mean, yeah, I could see that with some of they do those. A lot of the game shops have public games that you can just drop in and play, and they're just run by whoever volunteers to run them. So, it's too bad because it's a great game. I'd love to see people get into it. It's sad to hear that people don't let people join their tables.
They do. I think Twitch does a pretty popular D&D campaign that they've had going on for a long time.
Critical Role, probably.
Yeah. Critical Role.
Awesome.
Yeah. They're amazing.
I tune into it sometimes, because obviously now that we played it ourselves, you can get a little bit more insight on what's going on. So that's cool. But yeah, I mean, maybe in the future, if one of my buddies is yeah, let's have a drunk D&D couple months session or something, that'd be cool.
Sure. Yeah,
But,
one shot.
I mean, it's gonna be me, so I don't
Yeah, I was gonna
know.
say.
Vague about it.
Yeah,
It's me or Rob, probably.
It's gonna be Brett.
Yeah. So you would play again? That's a yes. I don't know if that question's supposed to be for a season 3.
I don't
Would
know.
you play again?
Maybe just in general.
Yeah.
Season 3 only if James' character comes back. Hey, James, are you alive for season 3 or what's the deal?
I don't know, dude.
Amanda
I
has
guess
a
I am
robot leg?
alive. Technically, my character is alive for season 3. I don't know, man. To be honest, my experiences for season 1 and season 2 were so vastly different. I think season 1, I just got shat on with every single role that I did. It pissed me off.
You were
I
having a
fucking
hard time.
left after that season. I didn't get to do anything fun that I wanted to do. I wanted to ride the slug. I wanted to do all this fun stuff, and every time I'd fail the role, and it made me mad.
What's with
but
you
then
and roles, man? Your roles have been
I don't know.
fucking
But then
shit
season
lately.
2 was actually okay because I could actually do some of the more fun stuff. So it's it's really weird how this game works like that.
Yeah, I felt really bad for you when that was all going down, and because sometimes the dice just are screwing you, and there's just
Yeah.
nothing you can do. I had a friend one time it's the first time he joined my home game, and he rolled straight 2s the whole session. The only thing he rolled was 2 on the 20-sided die. So he almost didn't come back. What about you? What about you, Brent?
I mean, yeah, I'm still playing.
Oh, you are?
I mean, yeah. I mean, we're still messing with there's so many variations of it that you don't have to tackle everything as like a totally crazy campaign where we're gonna go through and spend 12 sessions and stuff. So we've been dabbling in some kind of like more casual party RPG elements and things like that. We got a video series coming pretty soon where we kind of messed around with like a little party RPG. James's rolls are pretty bad on that, to be honest.
Yeah, they were. What the fuck?
Pretty astonishingly bad on that.
I don't know.
But we had fun. So yeah, I mean it's cool. But I think just like 1980X, kind of like just experimenting, and there's so many things. Even like D&D is obviously awesome, but there's so many like fun variations, and even like party games that are based on like the role-playing elements that kind of people like isolate and then create like sub things out of that. So
Oh, yeah. Like what games?
so like I mean we obviously do a lot of like card games, social deduction games on the channel and
right,
stuff like
yeah.
that too. So it's our inclination to role play on our channel a lot, even if the thing doesn't call for it at all, and it becomes the whole other point of what we were actually supposed to be doing and stuff like that. So
Right.
yeah, I don't know. It's all super fun and interesting to play around with that stuff. So
That's great. Yeah, no, play with the game, make it your own game.
yeah.
Um,
Oh, I like this one.
yeah, Adam, what was your first impression of the guys? Well, I was pretty intimidated, honestly. They all showed up I had never met them at all, and they showed up for day one of filming all like in costume and stuff. And I was like, wow, these guys really are dedicated. I am not, on this level. But then we started playing and, started to get to know each other a little bit. And, it was great.
I feel like halfway through season 1, I think you understood the shit show that was going down in front of you, and you just kind of adapted to that.
Yeah,
which
it was
kind of
so I think
nice.
episode 5, I think I finally got it straight in my head. I was like, oh, okay, I can do this type of game.
Yeah, season 2, you were almost like more prepared than we were. I feel like, you mentioned like being all dressed up, but you were like, oh, I brought, look at all this stuff that I brought. You're like, I brought this like Dungeons and Dragons thing. It's like canon to like the time period and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm, yeah,
and it seems like you were ready for like us to deviate very far from your story. So you set up a bunch of like plot traps to stop us from doing that.
Yeah.
Like I was trying to do some pretty scum rolls on you, and you were like, all right, yeah, you can do that roll. And then like I'd do it and be like, yeah, in your face, DM. And you'd set up like, okay, now there's like 20 of these lizards after you. What are you gonna do? And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go back with them. Never mind. I'm gonna stay with the story.
Yeah. And it finally worked.
Yeah, we learned. But it's funny too. Like, I mean, as a DM, like normally you might be running a campaign where there's a lot of downtime between sessions, right? Where you can really like fine tune the story. But for both of these seasons, it's just like, okay, we're gonna play for 8 hours straight. The people you're playing with are getting progressively drunker.
And me too. Yeah.
Then like a weird day shift where the next morning suddenly we're sober again, and then we get drunk again. And so like, it's trying to like improvise, and that must have been sort of a different experience too, huh?
Yeah, a bit. Especially, like when I run a game at a convention, I end up doing a lot of that. You have to kind of, you always have to react to what the players do, on the fly a little bit. Unless you have them in a really confined dungeon or scenario, but yeah, I got my stride eventually. So, how difficult was it to work with a group that goes off the beaten path so often? Good follow-up question. It was a challenge for sure, but once I kind of let go of my expectations of them, following the story really at all. It went a lot better.
Were there good surprises with us going off the path?
Oh, no, you guys, added so much to the game. Your characters, most people when they play D&D, they don't really do that much characterization or role-playing. And with you guys, that was like the focus. So once I kind of mentally shifted, to focusing on that and letting you guys kind of have your, reins and then just kind of, okay, give you the occasional nudge to get you into the next scene. That seemed to work pretty well. Yeah. And the guys, they took mercy on me occasionally. You can see it happening. Who do you think has developed the most in both seasons? Season 1 and Season 2. I assume this means like as role players or your characters or...
Just like people in general, too.
Everybody did a really job. I mean, for me in the first season, it was Mike Jondis's character really impressed me, and that whole story. And you said with you two buddying up, that was a really cool dynamic in the second season. It was like you and Mike, and Sam and Amanda. Kind of it's kind of split into these two groups, sort of.
And then like in season 2, Sam's bad influence just started poisoning everybody.
Yeah,
So,
Sam definitely.
Hannah started getting really mean to Mike all the time and stuff, and yeah, it's kind of that was fun, sort of navigating. I don't know how you did it. You actually mind controlled all of us to become worse people, just through your character's
Without even
actions.
looking like he was trying.
Yeah.
Wait, what was it?
Effortless. We're saying Sam was a bad influence in season 2, and really started.
Sam was?
Yeah.
Yeah, Sam was going through some shit, though. I like think of it from Sam's perspective. I mean, his hair was all fucked up,
Yeah.
probably jet lagged,
Yeah.
or drunk or whatever, and then combine that with just like we're on this like alien hominoid weird world. There's a lot going on there, and Amanda was there the whole time, which is just like I think for Sam, she was really an antagonist, almost like a villain.
Mm-hmm.
So
What the fuck?
that's
My character went through so much shit, dude.
Yeah.
yeah, but like
Boyfriend was like dead. She was addicted to fucking pills and shit in the second one. You're gonna make me out to be the bad guy?
I feel like was Sam selling you the pills in the second season?
What?
Where were you buying the medication?
I brought it with. I had it in my pocketbook or whatever.
She went shopping for a bunch at one point too.
Yeah, I
She
think
got
so,
her
yeah.
fangs and stuff. You bought a bunch of like
Oh, that's right. Yeah, once you guys won the race. you
battle
got the-
drugs.
Those fucking fangs sucked. They didn't help me at all.
Didn't you kill somebody with them?
I think I tried to. I kept trying to bite
Didn't you
people.
like poison your
you
boyfriend
did mess
with them or
one
something?
person up with it at one point. I forget who that was.
One.
Things were starting to get pretty chaotic
Yeah.
at that point. No, I mean, really everybody's characters went through a lot of growth across the story. I was really impressed. Not you.
Well, it can be like some of them came full circle. Like they're trying to be something that they weren't, and then they kind of had like reality checks, especially at the end of just being like, okay, I want off this ride. Like I'm not as in control as I would like to be. So
Yeah. That was me trying to make it seem like a John Carpenter bit. Who most fits their character's actions? Yeah. So which characters are most like you? Whose characters were most different from you? How closely do you relate to Cool Beans personally as a real
man,
human?
that's a good one. I don't think a whole lot. Probably some of it. There's definitely some. I mean, of everyone's influence in every character, that you probably do or play. But yeah, I was gonna say Mike Jaundice was actually just Trevor's like persona off of camera sometimes. Like if you've seen Whoa, It's a Let's Play, that is Mike Jaundice. So I'd say that he.
One vote for Mike Jaundice.
yeah, the physical discomfort of being Mike Jaundice. Like Trevor was sick every time we went and shot in Austin. Every time we'd fly.
But like that denim jacket that he wore.
And then he just started wearing.
He
it.
started-
just adapted
He just
it.
started wearing it normally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he colored his hair blonde recently too. I mean, he went full with it. I think Class of 1980X really snapped him or something.
It was like the catalyst for him to.
He was testing out a new life, and then he stepped into it. He's like, yes.
That's one of the
If he
great
starts
things.
a moving company next, then I think we'll know what the design was all along.
Don't give him any box cutters.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
What about you? Do you feel like you relate to?
I would hope not.
Yeah, no.
I would hope not.
But Hannah's basically you, right?
What? Yeah.
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 Heavy metal, rage,
Yeah.
working out.
There's a small, angry Asian girl inside of me. I mean, that's life, isn't it? So, and this is my actual shirt, so
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. There you go. Would you guys ever consider doing another series like 1980X with original characters and story?
like it? What do you mean?
Would
like
you would you consider doing another series? I guess like a role-playing game series, something like that. Game.
Does that mean it's still D&D?
Maybe. Doesn't have to be.
Mafia.
Probably.
Which are-
I don't know. Maybe.
I think mentally we were assuming the second season would wrap up the story. I know you guys are memeing about whether or not you're coming back with those characters for season 3. I mean, I think John just is in a coma. I don't think he's getting up. I certainly don't think Hannah's fit for duty. And I don't know. Your whole family was like brutally murdered in the like final moments of that season. So and you're addicted to drugs. I feel like if there's another season, it's probably going to be. I mean, and previously when we were setting it up, like I was thinking ahead, it'd be like, oh, it'd be cool to do. And I talked to you guys about this too, doing like, oh, class of like 1840X or like 2040X or something, like setting it.
Oh, yeah, like a different theme.
Like we'd be in a different. And I know we traveled around and went to the future and the Middle Ages and stuff. But
A
yeah,
Western.
setting it in a new starting frame. Maybe we're still teenagers, but like, yeah, it's like we're in the Old West or something like that. So.
Fun.
In my head, that would be the starting point for like another season of this show. But that's just me thinking on like a, top-down level.
That could be cool.
But
Yeah, we should wrap.
I don't know if you guys have any opinions on
If
that.
it's like Westworld.
So
then
you are on board
I
with
feel
the
like
Westworld.
I feel like
Westworld.
Brett just described Westworld.
Yeah, well, kind of. I just want to make sure that's 100%.
No, I'm not
You're-
saying it on you. I'm just wondering if Brett was trying to describe Westworld, if
Oh.
you'd ever do a Westworld series.
I mean, I know you love Westworld.
Yeah.
I don't.
I just look for ways that I can speak to you that I know you'll be excited about.
I haven't
trying to
wa- I
entice
haven't
me.
watched it.
What if, okay, so D&D, but it's like Westworld. And he's
So it's like
I'm in.
Westworld?
All right.
Yeah, I see
you're
excitement
just
on
peeking
people's
my-
faces.
So it's
here.
like Westworld
I
then.
think we got something we could work with.
Yeah,
maybe.
we're teenagers though. We have to be teens. Again.
Yeah.
I also
Working
did
at
you
the
spoil
amusement
the
park.
end, did you spoil the end of season 2, Brett? Is that what you did?
Yeah, I'm
earlier, too?
assuming everyone here didn't come here.
like
having
like a
not seen
Comic-Con panel where they're like, well, last our characters were here in last time, right? That kind of thing.
Yeah, but
I
it'd be
was-
like if we were doing a panel for like Thor Ragnarok and I spoiled Thor 1. I'd be like, why are you here if I'm spoiling Thor 1? You just wanted to say hi? Hi. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't feel bad. That was I think in the description. So is that okay? Is that
Well,
weird?
no.
Yeah,
it's-
who's worried about spoilers? Show of hands.
It's too late.
It's done.
Somebody
Okay,
raised
cool.
their hand for a second and put it down really fast.
okay.
It's too late.
Yeah.
Well,
I
yeah.
feel like-
I guess spoiler. I guess I had a question for Adam. If we're gonna, if spoilers are not a thing anymore and people just don't care, they just spark notes everything. You had you had started out the campaign with like, oh, there's a little lizard boy and he needs us to help him with, just some shit. His-
Oh, one of the lizard dudes was still on the ship with you guys. Yeah.
Yeah, I just mean in general, like the way everything kind of started was like very like PG-esque. I thought we were gonna have like a nice, good, like wholesome time. I mean, I know we added like just terrible plot points and stuff throughout the campaign, but
Which season was it?
It's around season 1. You think
was
we
season one?
started wholesomely for some reason? But
yeah, season 1 was just like we're just hanging out at the mall. The mall cops after us, dude. What's that sound that we heard down the hallway? But at the end of season 2,
When did we try to finger him? Was that it?
that was the beginning of season 2.
season 2 is when we try to finger the spider.
Oh,
yeah.
shit.
That's when the alien sex started.
What a mess.
Did you like sort of like retcon the end of season 2 after season 1, or was that always the way you intended on things to end? Because I feel like your plot, the way you set it up was like, okay, your whole family, James or Amanda, whatever, is just I don't know, dying. What was?
But you did that. He didn't do that. You're
Yeah.
the one that's like, I'm going to stab your dad.
Yeah.
Okay, fair.
You guys kind of took it there, and I was fine to run with it. Thematically.
Hold on. I had to stab the dad because he was like an alien or some shit.
He was under alien control, I think.
I feel like you must have known what would happen.
Confusion was reigning at that moment. When you guys finally got to the aliens at the end, and it was just all.
It just wasn't a
chaos
happy
and
ending.
madness.
You didn't give us a. You didn't write a happy.
Well, wait a minute.
Why are you being
your
blamed for
character? So this comes back to season 3. Your character rode off into the sunset with a DeLorean, an alien girlfriend, and a giant
Okay.
pile of credits.
Yeah,
No,
you
that was cool.
I mean, like
That was
Sam Cool
cool.
Beans is ready for his spin-off, his solo show, basically at that point, right?
It was.
Yeah, you probably got the happiest of endings.
Okay, I just mean, and you must have known going forward that setting us up to be in Amanda's house with like full, riot gear and military grade, equipment was just not going to end in like a positive note. Like shit was going to go down.
Yeah, well, you had to go confront the aliens who were taking over the Earth, and you guys did, and you succeeded, much to my surprise. I mean, there was, a bunch of collateral damage in the process, and infighting and some death.
What would you have done if we had just all died? Would that have just been the end of the
Oh,
series?
no, that's what the walking stick guy was there for, more or less. He's there to act as a kind of a Deus Ex Machina if necessary.
And then we told him like fuck off.
Yeah,
Like,
you
he
guys
would've
kind of
stepped in.
that one. Yeah, but that was the idea with that guy. Or one of the ideas.
Okay.
Mr. Y.
There was a fail-safe built into the system to protect us from ourselves.
A little bit, yeah. I felt like after the first season, it was I should throw. I mean, like I don't usually like to put an NPC that I'm directly controlling into the story, but I felt like in this case it might be helpful. Kind of help herd the characters a little bit, and
Interesting.
I had that subplot. There was actually more with him. He was supposed to show up again during the medieval phase, but then we didn't have time. So
We were too busy dabbing.
yes.
Missed that entire subplot. I'm
Well,
sorry.
and you guys did a lot of investigation in town, which I didn't expect.
yeah.
So, which brings us to what were the most memorable moments for everybody during 1980X during the show?
Trevor decapitating Alex.
That was
Oh,
that
yeah.
was
That was-
real
That
life.
was
though.
real. That was really.
That was like a real moment.
It was like a little too much apple juice for somebody. And
Yeah.
Yeah, Trevor did almost like break my trachea. Like-
The Cobalt Village dance thing, I think that was one of the most fun
Yeah.
for me. I really liked that.
yeah.
I liked I liked the space race, dude,
The space race was pretty tight.
because I rolled so many checks.
You were on fire.
Yeah, dude, I soloed that shit. It was all me.
Yeah, basically.
You did.
Meanwhile,
You
the rest
really
of the
did.
party,
Yeah,
I tried to give them something to do, and they're
we were
like,
just arguing.
"Fuck that."
Yeah. Yeah.
What about?
Boy. Everything else I was just terrible at, so I can't really. The only part that I was rolling good was at the very beginning with the bullies, I think, right? Because I was like throwing baseballs at them.
Oh yeah.
I think that was the only time where I was like, yeah, and
Effective.
it was leading me right into some false security. I mean, obviously, all of the fucked up stuff was probably pretty good. I mean,
Yeah.
to me,
No,
fingering the spider,
Yeah, I agree. The fingering spider was pretty good.
yeah.
James spitting up yogurt all over everything was pretty gross.
Yeah.
The ending for me, like, I thought was nice. Like, I like stories where, I don't know how the other campaigns have ended for the other groups because I haven't gone through their whole series or whatever. But I guess having the freedom to have sort of an apocalyptic ending where it's just like things are like truly fucked up and like the consequences of all the shitty things we did throughout the whole campaign like actually paid off in some way. Like, I thought it was nice that you didn't try and like put the bumpers on the bowling ball, like
Right.
bowling alley thing. It's like, no, we went into the gutter and then that was it.
Down the drain.
We got 0 pins and we killed an alien queen, but like all 4 people were just so fucked up that it's just like, wow. So that was cool. I like the ending a lot.
Yeah, no, thanks for letting me make it real there at the end. That was, I love stories like that. So
Yeah.
that was great for me. The final scene, where everybody's
The
going their
montage.
separate ways.
Yeah.
Magnifique. One of my best moments as a DM, probably.
Yeah. Oh no. This one.
Oh yeah, here's a good one. Okay, what bothered you most about everyone else's characters?
Examples: Sam staying behind, Amanda trying to kill everyone.
Dude, what the fuck? I only tried to kill people because this motherfucker would always like try to keep shit, and he'd be like, roll for it, roll for it, roll for it. So at some point, you just kind of.
Dude, because you were like, "Oh, I steal something from you." Like that's fucked up. You can just steal something from me.
Or I politely ask, and like, can I have that?
That's
like a health
that's
potion.
after
Someone
DM would
says
check
no,
you.
and you're like, no, I take it anyway.
Well, fuck you then. Roll for it.
Yeah, that was definitely one of those phases in the game where I was like, should I referee this a little bit more? Nah. Let them go.
Yeah.
They'll work it out.
I didn't like Hannah's stupid like, oh, I'm gonna check this out. Like every time we went somewhere, just chill the fuck out, dude. Like every
You.
time we go into a room.
Candy?
Said,
What?
he asked if you said
You're
candy.
so far away from me. I thought you said candy.
No, I said I don't like how Hannah would investigate like every place we went to.
He doesn't like how you would progress the story by finding things.
Yeah,
Key
that,
items.
That
Like
only
when I
that
had
only
like
helped
a,
Adam
a
out because
giant strength potion and then like killed the last boss. Well, you were like killing the parents of other people in this party.
There were some specific instances where Adam said that, like, if we would have investigated, we would have found like a hidden switch or something that would have progressed us.
Yeah, those who've bought the adventure know about a lot of this stuff.
It just didn't make sense to me, dude. Everything you gotta investigate everything. Like we just show up and you're like already like sniffing up. You're like going up and down the corridor. Like
It's
just
also
chill
like
out.
one of her like only useful abilities. It's like how many times was I knocked unconscious over 2 seasons or like near death?
Yeah, that's what happens when you take the weakest character in charge in the front.
Yeah, she's headstrong, man.
It was perfect and beautiful. I loved it. Foot dragging on the story. That was, that's all right. It's definitely with the. You have to strike a balance with that stuff. You do end up, if you like check out everything in the game, you can end up barking up the wrong tree all night, and it's just no fun. But also, if you don't, ask questions about the DM and the scenario, and then it makes it hard on the DM because then you just have to spoon feed everybody.
Yeah.
And it's just not quite as much fun.
Yeah.
How many times would you have killed us throughout the campaign? Was there ever barriers down kind of thing?
The first season, when I'm kind of throwing kobolds and low-level monsters at you guys, your characters ended up being so underpowered compared to the average D&D character that I was really worried there for a minute. I had to scale things back on the fly real quick. I was like, oh no, they don't have any weapons. No, they're just clawing you and stuff. It's much less deadly than a
that what
spear
we-
through the
Still,
Is that
throat.
why we were
died,
facing, like-
still unconscious?
We were facing like tribal gremlins instead of like actual things that would be in like the future.
Yeah.
We just came across like this one little village.
Well, they were,
gnolls.
they were slaves and stuff. So.
So we were killing slaves. Got it.
Whoops. Okay, for me, if I could change one thing about the campaign, what would it be? I would have liked to have had no time limit on actually running the game and playing it. That would have been a lot more fun for me, because then the players would have had more chance to explore everything, and
We would have been there for so long.
it would have
It would have
taken
been like
Yeah, we were just kind
days.
of fighting each other.
no, yeah, it'd be way too much. So I guess I could have made it shorter too, a little more condensed, and that's what I did with season 2. I kind of tried to make it a little more, less of an open-ended scenario and more of like some vignettes that I wanted to do episodically.
Yeah.
Were your characters completely original, or were you given a description to work off of?
Yeah, we were completely original.
Yeah.
We just were like, okay.
Your own creations.
Yeah.
I mean,
I was like, okay, what do we want to be? Like, who wants to be what?
They were based off of Amazon Prime delivery time frames.
What you could get as soon as possible.
oh yeah, for the
No.
costumes
You guys
and
thought
stuff.
about it, like, because it was like, okay, who's gonna be like, I was like trying to like at least give like normal archetypes of characters of being like, okay, is someone strong? Is someone smart? Is someone gonna be whatever?
You're thinking like somebody who's played D&D.
Yeah, exactly. Just having like, okay, like, and here's how that might translate. And so we talked about that a little bit, but then I don't know. I feel like Trevor might have had his character first, and he's just like, oh, he's a big sad dude.
Yeah.
And he's strong, and then you were like, okay, and I was like, okay, well, I want to be a female character. I want to, So we just hashed it out, but no, it wasn't based on anything really, and then just kind of fine-tuned it around each other. Like, oh, you're a popular person, or you're a rich kid.
Yeah.
And
Somewhat ditzy blonde or something that's stereotype is kind of what I went off of.
Some nice 80s movies stereotypes. to-
Yeah.
fit with the
Yeah,
scenario.
So yeah, other than that stuff, it was pretty much just a brainstorming session.
Did I always have extra backup plans for each scenario? No. absolutely no, definitely not. I was just winging it for the most part when things went wrong, especially in season 1. Season 2, I did like I said with that the other character with the spaceship. I put that in there so that I'd have that to draw on if I needed to, because then I have this character that can just show up anywhere and be like, hey, what I was going to do, if the characters all died, I was going to have them wake up on his spaceship and be like, hey, I just pulled you out of a different timeline. Something like that. But that was about it for that. For costumes, did you each have a certain aesthetic chosen, or did you pick whatever was primable? And
I think
There
it's a
you go.
different process. Everyone had a different process. What was yours? Was you just did some Amazon shopping?
Yeah, I mean, whoever decided to cosplay as this particular character would probably be like, wow, there's a lot of primable stuff in this costume list. Amazing.
How'd you fuck up your wig from season 1
Yeah,
to season 2?
Yeah, that one,
You left it at like RT or something?
I think, yeah. Well, it was weird because they were like, oh, like, do you want to keep your stuff here for next time? And I was like, yeah, but then it was like, they only took like half the stuff, so I took the other half home, and then they lost the wig. But then also I was like, oh, I'll just reorder it, I have enough time, but I didn't have enough time. Because I think this one, they only had so many in stock. So that's why the wig was so vastly different between seasons. So I was like, I need a good reason why all of a sudden my hair is like really long, and I forgot what we gave. What was the?
You just like, I don't know, you got
We did
electrocuted or
an
some
intro,
stupid
yeah.
excuse. You touched
also
the
like how-
control panel and it was like,
Oh yeah, I touched the control panel and changed my hairstyle. But also like I like the scene where I like was under the table and I was like, I'm gonna pop out, so it's like a surprise. But they still filmed me under the
Yeah.
table, so it was like this.
that was really funny.
It was like really awkward. I was like, wait, did the camera people? And then they still left it in too, so I'm just under the table at the start of the second
Why would
season,
they cut
just
that
like
out? That
fucking
was really
sitting
funny.
there, and I'm like, what's up, guys? Like I've just been under this table for 5 minutes doing the intro, and then none of you even introed me. You weren't like, where's Sam? It was just like I had to pop up like just randomly.
make your own cue.
You guys were gonna start without me. I just been on the fucking table for like 20
I
minutes.
think we played for like 10 minutes before.
Yeah, it was
Yeah, no,
it
you
was
started
there a
playing
really
and I was
long
under
time
the
and we weren't
table.
trying to.
No one said, where's Sam? You just started playing. Well, I'm under the table just looking at dust or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll try and make it a little more organized next time.
No, don't. That was funny. What did you do?
Amazon.
Just Amazon to shop.
Yeah.
You're just
I
like
mean-
80s stuff. Click, click, click.
Yeah, I looked for a pretty good quality wig. I didn't want to have like one of those scratchy ones, so that was kind of pricey, I think. Everything else was like I just kind of ordered this stuff in bulk just in case, because it's like women's sizes, so I didn't know what was gonna fit me and what wasn't gonna fit me. So like that little skirt that I had like 3 different ones. The leggings were all right, but yeah, I just got these things in bulk and just put it together from that. And I got accessories. This was the last one.
I had this Nirvana shirt that I wore for the second season, and well, first of all, I had to make sure the band would have been related to the '80s.
You had to Google it?
It was close enough.
Yeah, well,
For season 1, I was like researching. I was like, okay, when
No,
did Power Slave come out? Okay, well, okay, can I get this
81.
shirt? And he's just like wearing a Nirvana shirt at the beginning
it
of
still
season
made
2.
sense.
I was like, what is
It
this?
still made sense though. But my point is, I wore it. I think for the second season.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember, but it was the picture of their live acoustic performance that they had. It was like the MTV spin.
Live.
Yeah, and there was this person that I think I saw them at like when we went to like a restaurant like Torchy's or something. But I was like wearing it, and they're like, oh, dude, Nirvana. You're like, that's a nice shirt, man. I was like, yeah, thanks. He's like, I was there. I was there at that performance. They started like a tear in their eye, made them then tear up because I was like, shit, should I tell this guy that I'm not like a big fan and I'm walking around and like with a Nirvana shirt, rest in peace, Kurt Cobain. But I guess something good came out of that,
Nice.
clothing. Some guy working the Chipotle line will have insurgence of memory. Anyway,
It's a beautiful
I just-
story.
yeah, it
I love it.
made me think of it when you mentioned the costumes.
You?
Oh yeah, I mean, I just had this shirt. I did some research on I wanted to be accurate on like the bands that she was listening to and stuff like that. So yeah, I almost bought like a Megadeth shirt, but I had this one for that NASA sweatshirt I was wearing, like Fareed had that. He brought it for me, so I tied that around my waist. And then, I mean, the rest is just shit I was already wearing. The wig was difficult. Getting those wigs again, I think, was like the big thing for, like, I know it was hard for you. It was hard for me to find the exact same one because I don't know where the season 1 wig went either. And it was all ratty after like 2 days of just like drunk.
Sweating.
Like, sweating and like, ugh. So, yeah.
No, well, for me, this is just what I wear all the time, so it's no problem. Was it being difficult?
Are
being
you skipping that one?
Oh, no, yeah.
How drunk did you guys get while filming?
Not as drunk as I've been.
I'm pretty fucking drunk.
Dude. Yeah, dude, we were on something. I think it was very sobering though, seeing the camera people, because there's like a full team of like, you know, actual like operators and camera people that are just watching us like have like literal mental breakdowns. Like Trevor almost decapitating me with a fucking wooden sword. Like, yeah, there'd be moments where I'd be like, yo, like I have no idea what's happening right now. Who's rolling the dice?
Like you'll zone out, and then you'll be like, what? Where am I? What's going on? And like you're in the middle of a conversation. I'm sure you can watch like just moments where someone's obviously just like looking at the table or just off somewhere else. Like a lot of that. Moments where you're like, wow, I am too drunk. I need to like, okay, I'm gonna push the drink away from me, and I'm gonna just sober up enough so I can keep rolling the dice.
It was funny though, because you'd like tune in and out though. You'd like tune out and be like, whoa. You'd have like an existential thing going on, and then like you'd tune back in, and Mike Jaundice is just over here screaming at something. You're like, where are we at? Oh, we're on the ship, right?
Yeah.
You want me to do a roll? Sure. I want to fuck this spider. How much for that?
When we left that last episode, I was really drunk, and like Trevor was like, I'll pour you a shot, and he poured me like half a cup of whiskey.
Oh,
And
yeah,
not-
the airport.
not a cup, a
we
pint.
got on like the plane, and I
No,
was just,
it was
yeah.
everything before the plane though too, because we get to the airport and you were gone. You were gone. You were yelling inside of like this restaurant at the waitress was like, "Do you guys want anything?" You're like, "I don't know. What do you have on the menu? You have any vegan food?" But yeah, on the plane, Brett was like a person that was making an active scene, like so much so that when people were walking by, they'd have to stop and turn around and look at this man that's screaming. You know, like
I was just like chatting people up, like, can you believe this? Like there were no like video screens to watch on the way back. You know, like and sometimes you're just like, oh, you're like, oh, Graham be bored. I was like, can you believe this? I was like, oh, is it could be any more crowded in here? You know, just like, you know, like you're like drunk uncle, just like talking to people on the plane and just like embarrassing
random
you.
strangers.
Yeah. So and then I fell asleep and I was fine. That's how most of those go.
Let that be a warning to y'all. Drink in moderation.
Yeah.
Was it difficult being in character for such a long time? I mean,
Your method approach, yeah. You had to return to your lives.
you weren't like. Well, I guess James like probably. I feel like you were in character.
Yeah, I mean,
lot.
not really. I feel like it doesn't really. I think we're so used to it now. Like when we
you
get
seemed
it,
like you could like snap into it. You know,
Yeah.
pretty much when you needed to.
but like we do these characters like just on our normal stuff, so it's not out of the realm to like just stick with it for that extended period of time. It was long, you know, especially day to day, like back to back, and sticking with it because obviously it broke down at certain points, like you said, especially when the alcohol kicked in. But yeah, I mean, I don't think it was incredibly difficult.
It's not like you woke up like talking like Charles Whirlpool or anything, you know.
No.
So these characters are pretty
That's who I'm going to use in the next next. That's going to be my character in the
in the
next
old west. No, is the answer to that question. I
Yeah.
guess.
I mean, it was kind of exhausting for me, honestly. You know, doing that for 6 hours, and then by the end of the day, every day I was like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, I'm ready to
Yeah.
like, take a nap.
Yeah. That was much more, I think. Yeah, just like your body's taking some abuse. You wrangling cats for 8 hours straight. Is
Yeah,
just
it's
like,
mentally taxing. So yeah, a bit.
yeah.
All right, let's see here. One for James. What made you go from not wanting to do a second season to being the most in character? How'd that?
Alcohol. Absolutely, alcohol.
They bribed you with booze and you're
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
I
did you
can't.
special request like Tito's for for the second season.
They were
Yeah.
very accommodating. They got the beers I wanted. And
Yeah, they were.
stuff.
They were.
I love my Tito.
The production team at Rooster Teeth that worked on that show are amazing. Everyone there was so accommodating, so cool. No matter what stupid shit, like spilling things on that glow screen, hitting it with swords, yogurt. Like they never once were like, "Can you guys cool it?" They were just like, "Okay, haha, okay, have
Oh,
fun."
they were laughing along.
So
I mean,
major props to all of them and the editor.
yeah.
I knew
Great
I
job.
I
Big
definitely
props.
wanted to go like more heavy because like first season I had like props, and they were just kind of like casted out like within a few episodes. So I knew I wanted to go into season 2. If I was gonna go back in, I was gonna have like just a shit ton of props. And I found the yogurt and like filled up the little things with pills. I had my purse because I figured the purse could kind of be more open-ended, so I could always just kind of like role play out. I had something in my purse just in case, you know, if anything were to come up. I had like the healing thing or whatever the fuck it was. I just tried to go really hard on like the physical props, I guess, for it. I think that kind of helped my character a little bit more.
That stuff was fun too. Yeah. Would you guys make more 1980s X merch?
Is that up to us?
I think it's pretty niche, to be honest. I'm glad people that bought the shirts. We have a poster here, if you haven't seen it. That's kind of like our commemorative 1980X poster. It's got all 4 characters on the speeder bike from the race,
Wow.
done by Tori, who did the art for our awesome character designs and stuff. So maybe if there are more seasons, we'll do new merch. But what you've got is probably it for the first 2 seasons. So.
Right on. How did Hannah shrink back down after she left the house in the finale? So that was a magic potion, so that would have worn off after like 10 minutes or an hour or something like that, just naturally.
Very Alice in Wonderland-esque.
Yeah, you know, it's nanotech, so you know it only lasts for so long.
Yeah.
What happens to Sam and Candy after the finale? I mean, I've got I didn't write any fanfic about it, but I've got ideas. What do you think?
Did you say have a fanfic
Kinda
about
you-
it?
I said I didn't.
Where do you drive to? What do you do?
Yeah.
Dude, are you guys like, did you want spoilers to like, you know,
Role play it
potential-
out, dude. He might not even come back.
spoilers for
Just
what?
role play it out. What does he do?
Who was in the car with? Was there anyone in the car with me?
Your
You
alien
and
girlfriend?
Candy, you and Grasshopper.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I had that alien chick with me,
alien-
right?
Yeah.
He doesn't even remember how the season ended. While you're asking him for like the extended lore. He's like, where was I?
I don't know, dude. He probably goes to like a, I don't know, what they have back in the, did they have a Wendy's back in?
Yeah. So
Go.
hit the Wendy's and
Like a
go on
Wendy's-
home.
Get like a
Hey,
fucking,
Dad, here's the DeLorean.
get like
This
a
is Candy.
spicy fucking sandwich and I don't know. Go see like the next episode of Brady Bunch was on there.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
The
sure.
Brady Bunch.
In reruns.
Everybody
yeah.
was watching in the 80s.
Probably his dad would be like, "Where the fuck were you, dude? Why were you gone for so long? And where are my keys?"
Right. Dad gets mad. It doesn't
Dad,
even.
Dad probably beat him. He'd fight back. He'd fight him back. I think. Mom would get involved. He'd fight her too. He's been through a lot.
Everybody had a really good home life.
Yeah.
He's gonna need some therapy.
Damn.
All right. Well, so you know, some ideas. We could play. I'll put this question aside. Maybe we'll play it out online a little bit. Will there be a season 3? And if so, will anyone from the group be joining? Jacob, Asher, Lindsay.
Wow.
Some
Guess that's
suggestions.
the big
it sounds
question.
like.
Well, I guess if there is more, we obviously would need to fill that 4th seat. We'll see. We'll see who's gearing to go. We'll see what the setting is, and then who knows?
Yeah.
Jacob, just he's standing there. Matt standing here. I mean, could be almost anybody. Could be someone totally new. Who knows? Guess we'll have to wait and see. Oh man, I don't know. I honestly don't know. I was thinking about it going to this panel. I was like, well, we should probably think about if and what we're doing for season 3.
We're gonna film it in LA.
We're gonna fly Adam out to LA. We'll
Yeah,
shoot it in our basement set.
That'll work.
Just kidding. Then we'd have to edit it.
Oh no. Yeah.
Yeah, and someone would have to shoot it.
Yeah.
We love RT.
No, they're so well set up for that here. It's really
yeah,
great.
their set is badass. So
Yeah. I'd do it. Absolutely. You know, I'd love to write another story, whatever it is.
time to write an Old
So-
West ballad.
Fingers crossed. That could be cool.
Yeah, cool. Look at that. You have 6 seconds left in the panel. We got through all the cards.
Incredible.
That was flawless.
Great work, everybody.
Flawless DMing as
Thanks so
always.
much.
Well, thanks for coming out. Hopefully that was interesting and not super boring for you. Yeah, if you guys want to come up, if anybody needs anything signed, we can, until they kick you guys out of here in a couple minutes.
Yeah.
Feel free. Come get a signature from Adam, a picture with Adam. And yeah.
Thanks, guys, for
Yes, sir.
coming out to Class
Oh
of
my God, it's
1980X
still
panel.
I actually
We'll see you
have
next
a
one. Will you
Sharpie,
try?
but it's only